Dawn the Minimal Mom was one of the first people who inspired me to start decluttering as a level 4 hoarder. But it wasn't her decluttering tips that inspired me to change. Now, I wanted to make this video a couple of weeks ago, but that was the time that Dawn had announced her divorce to Tom, and my heart was kind of like, oh, we got to put a pin in this video. Even though the intention is to thank her and to share how she inspired me to start decluttering when I was a level 4 hoarder, my heart felt like I just need to give her and her family time to process publicly announcing this huge change in her family's life. As the weeks went on, my heart felt like, okay, we can start to make this video. But Dawn, please know that myself and many other people have been surrounding you and your family with prayer during this time of transition. Now, many of you know I was a level 4 hoarder, and I struggled with that my entire life because it felt impossible to declutter anything in my home. In the beginning, there were a few people who inspired me to start this journey of change, and Dawn the Minimal Mom was one of them. But it was not her decluttering tips that inspired me to start. It was the way she made me feel. And the way she made me feel was that I could still be safe if I own less stuff. This video isn't about decluttering rules because decluttering rules never worked for me. This is about how somebody's confidence in living with minimalism made me feel safe and helped me envision that maybe I too can feel safe living with less things in my life. When you are in the thick of your hoarding disorder, especially level 4-5 hoarding, those piles, the clutter, the stuff always made me feel safe. That's why I called it my fortress. And having that coding since childhood, my stuff keeps me safe. In the 80s and the 90s, I was a material girl living in a material world because it always kept me safe. All the trials and tribulations the world presented to me. And that thought process continued into adulthood, growing more and more. Hoarding kept me safe from the world. And even though the cluttered piles all over the home presented its own troubles, of course, overwhelmingly taking up space in my house, it honestly wasn't about owning more stuff. It was about feeling safe within myself so that my nervous system could be regulated and feel like myself, who wasn't paralyzed in my fear, my anxiety, and my PTSD. The hoarded items was just my medication to self-soothe. And letting go of any items, oh, that felt dangerous. It felt dangerous. The fear of losing something, fear of needing something, the fear of losing those memories, the fear of feeling regret of letting something go, and the fear of losing my self-worth and my self-identity. That's why decluttering was so scary. Saving was safe. Decluttering was dangerous. That is the mindset I had as somebody with hoarding disorder. And telling somebody with hoarding disorder to just get rid of it as advice, it's never going to work. It's never going to work because it is an emotional struggle, not just a clutter problem. And how Dawn shifted that fear for me when I was a level 4 hoarder was back in 2018 when I was looking for inspiration. I knew I wanted to take this journey, but I was still suffocated by my fear to start. I found Dawn the Minimal Mom on YouTube, and I remember her having 50,000 subscribers back there. And I remember thinking, oh, she's doing amazing. Look at how happy she is. And it's about minimalism. Okay, I will check her out. And after watching a couple of her videos, I did feel inspired, but it wasn't because of her decluttering methods. It was because the way she carried herself. She made me feel safe owning less because she genuinely enjoyed and loved owning less. I could see that in the way that she spoke and in her energy. It gave her a sense of peace and freedom. And that was a transitional moment in my life, because for me, that is the true shift in change. The first moment you can envision the change for yourself. That is the pivotal point when you start to shift. Because instead of showing minimalism as a restriction or deprivation, she showed it as abundance and freedom and love and peace and all the things that I've been seeking my entire life, but I sought it in my hoarded stash. Seeing somebody else thrive in minimalism made it feel possible and made it feel safe for me to try it for myself. It was her confidence and energy that sparked the idea that, okay, it's safe to let go. And she never seemed to second guess her decisions. And I was seeking that too. I wanted to feel confident within myself. I didn't want to second guess myself. I wanted to know that, yeah, I am living in my authentic self and I am making the right decisions for me and my family. And that also helped me feel like it's safe for me to start decluttering. It's safe for me to start this journey, but where I am at as a level 4 hoarder. And I continuously honored that as we started our own decluttering journey. Seeing her joy and peace in owning less made minimalism feel desirable instead of making it feel so scary. And with Dawn helping me feel inspired that I could do this too, I started my YouTube channel. But I wasn't just decluttering my stuff, I was decluttering my fears, because I told you all my fears, my thoughts, my struggles. I was desperately trying to let go of items back then. New message that I was telling myself, and I told you all over and over again, was that I am still safe if I declutter. The emotional shift went from clinging to everything to trusting myself to live with less. And slowly but surely, each and every week, we decluttered. We let go. We let go of more each and every week, building that confidence that it's safe to live with less. And as a result, my mind, my home, my heart started to shift and live with owning less is happiness. And Dawn helped me see that through her lens of minimalism, because the freedom that it gave her, that always resonated with me. The freedom that I feel being debt-free except for the mortgage, that gives me freedom to create, build this channel, be my authentic self, do what I want to do. Being debt-free except the mortgage, the same freedom I feel that Dawn feels with being a minimalist and living a minimalist lifestyle. I can finally connect the dots as a recovering hoarder. Now, are there still some things I'm attached to? I mean, sure, yeah, I'm still attached to some of my things, but not what it used to be, because I used to be attached to everything. Now that volume is so much less. I have gained peace and clarity over the years since starting this decluttering journey. And if you feel like it's impossible to let things go, it feels too dangerous, too vulnerable, too scary, I want you to know that you can find safety, peace, and love in owning less stuff too. We can do this together. You don't have to live in fear of letting go anymore. And I just want to thank you, Dawn, for inspiring this hoarder to know that it's still safe to live with less. And also please know that I have been praying for you and your family during this time. And if you haven't seen Dawn's channel, which I'm sure you have if you're watching my video right now, go check her out. She is such a wonderful encouragement to learning how to live with less, decluttering, and living a minimalistic lifestyle. And if you're still struggling with the thought of letting go, please know that I am here to lovingly encourage you along the way. Because my hope in creating this video was to give you that inspiration to envision yourself decluttering and living with less, just like Dawn did for me. And please let me know in the comment section below, what fears do you have about decluttering? Because sometimes just expressing it outward is a way of decluttering the fear within yourself. And I know myself and my loving YouTube family will surround you with encouragement as you start this journey too. And my hope and my prayer is that this video motivated and encouraged you to clean, declutter, and let something go in your home today too.